That's not great.
Can you 3D print an Air Jordan 1? In today's video, we're gonna find out. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and a couple weeks ago I made a video about 3D printing Yeezy slides, and the comment that I got more than any other comment was, can I 3D print a pair of Air Jordan 1s? And that got me thinking, can I actually 3D print a pair of Air Jordan 1s? First off, an Air Jordan 1 is a much more complex shape. It's a high top, it's made up of a ton of different panels, it's got lots of different materials, and it's also got laces, which are not easy to print whatsoever. Plus, I gotta be honest, right now I'm pretty rusty at CAD, and I don't think I'd be able to create a 3D model that perfectly matches this shoe, at least not in SolidWorks, which unfortunately at the moment is the only CAD program that I have. And I mean, the whole idea with the Yeezy slide video was to create a pair of shoes that I could actually wear. And obviously, with a pair of Yeezy slides, that's a lot easier than with a pair of Jordan 1s. So the real question was more of a two-parter. Can I find a 3D file of an Air Jordan 1 online that's wearable, meaning that it has a hollowed out area in the inside of the shoe to actually get my foot in there? And second of all, can I print an Air Jordan 1 large enough that actually fits on my foot? And so I started searching for 3D files of Air Jordan 1s online, and I actually found some files that I could buy and download that were full 3D files of Air Jordan 1s. The problem was none of these files were wearable, and they were also very small versions of the shoe. So what I decided to do was buy a couple of these 3D files, print them out in their regular size, and then decide which 3D file was the best, hollow that one out in SolidWorks so that my foot could actually fit into the shoe, and then once all that was done, I could 3D print it full size and actually try and wear the shoe. So I downloaded a couple files and got to work. So we're gonna try and print the first two 3D files that we grabbed online in their natural original size on Prusa with Prusament, which is their own version of Filament, which I've actually found seems to be better than most other Filament that I've bought online. But this print should take about 3 hours and 22 minutes. We'll come back down and see how it all looks. It failed. Not sure why, but it did. Let's pause it. That sucks. It looks like it got really jammed up. I might try and print these again. Hopefully this time it's not terrible. Hey, nice. It looks like everything's working, which is crazy. I did not expect that. Right as I say that, it looks like the upper of the shoe is kind of screwed up, but that's okay, I guess. So it looks like the mini guy is missing the tip of the toe and the back of the shoe, which I did see in the slicing program, but I thought that maybe that was just a glitch in the program, which, I mean, it could be, but it seems like the file is just a little corrupted, which is frustrating. But the other shoe, the larger one, actually came out great other than this little, there we go, that guy right there, which is gone now, so looks awesome. You can actually almost even see the Wings logo details in there, which is pretty insane. I wonder if this was a scan that was kind of adjusted a little bit to make the details a little bit more prominent. But you've got the Jumpman there. It's interesting because this did come in a pair, but I only printed the side with the correct Jumpman. The other side apparently was mirrored and the Jumpman's backwards. Now the other print, unfortunately, the smaller one, which 3D modeling wise looked better, unfortunately does not look better after being printed. So I think if we do end up actually making one of these bigger, which I think is the next step here, I might use this file and then maybe chop out the inside, because there is a little bit of a hollow in there, but it only really goes to like there. You might be able to cut out the whole inside and then reprint it on a different printer. But yeah, overall, pretty impressed with the quality of this shoe. And you know what? I decided to print it large on the Prusa too, just to see how it looks. It's obviously not wearable, but I think it'd be a cool model to have on my desk. All right, so as you guys just saw, we just printed out two different Air Jordan 1s, and the one that I think I want to move forward with is this one. However, the problem is I brought this shoe into SolidWorks, as you guys can see, so that I could chop out the inside and make it wearable. The problem is this STL file, which is a 3D printable file, is made up of so many tiny little surfaces that there's no way for me to really edit it. I'm sure there is a way, I just don't know it. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section down below. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it in this video. So I have three options. One, to print this in a way that won't be wearable, but I could print it in life size. To build it from scratch, which would be a huge bummer, but I could do it if necessary, or to try and find a different STL file. And actually, I did already search for a different STL file, and I found this. The problem with this file, though, is that while it says wearable Air Jordan, there's no images of it. I can't find images of this shoe anywhere. The images won't load because they're corrupted. I've looked on my phone, I've looked on my other laptop. Nothing is loading these images of this shoe. So the question is, do I risk it, buy it for 99 cents, and then bring it into my 3D printer program and see what the file actually looks like? I don't know if this is an Air Jordan 1. It doesn't say. I don't know if it's a Jordan 4. I would assume it's one of the two. The only description that this file has is resin is recommended for printing. I think I'm just going to do it. It's 99 cents. I mean, it's $1. All right, so it's downloaded. It just says Nike. That's what the file name is. Let's drop it into the Creality slicer and see what it... Okay, it is Jordan 1s. But those are mini boys. They are very, very small Jordan 1s, but they are Jordan 1s, and it looks like they are hollow, so they might be printable.
It's actually a decent looking file. There's no logos on it, which is kind of a bummer other than the Nike logo. But let me see if I can delete one of these bodies. Delete the following. Yes to all. Hey, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so I went and grabbed one of my actual Air Jordan 1s. I'm going to measure the length of it really quick to get the dimensions so that I can scale the printable shoe. About 11.5 inches long. I think the bigger I print it, the better, because the neck of the shoe or the ankle area of the shoe seems to be pretty small. So I might even go full 12 inches just because I feel like that might be the move. So I think 12 inches is, what, 304.8 millimeters? That wasn't quick math. I just did this recently for a different project. That looks big. That looks big enough. Let's try and rotate it a little bit so it fits on the print bed. I mean, hey, that looks good. That looks about right. It says it's going to take 4 days, 17 hours, and 16 minutes, which is nuts. I mean, that's an insane amount of time. Although this shoe is not going to take as long to print as the Yeezy slides from a couple weeks ago, it is the biggest shoe that I've ever printed, both in scale and in height. So this is going to be an absolutely insane project.
All right, so everything is printing pretty well. The one thing, I'm gonna be honest, that I'm a little bit concerned about is that I'm looking at the gap between where my heel goes in the Air Jordan 1 on this model and the actual back of the shoe, and I'm realizing that's not gonna be a lot of space. And that concerns me a little bit just because it's the same model on this shoe, except slightly bigger. So this gap is gonna be even bigger. So I'm not sure exactly what to do. I guess I'm gonna have to wait until tomorrow. I feel like it's a waste of time though if it doesn't come out good, so I don't know what to do. Maybe it won't be as pronounced on the bigger one. I don't know why that would be, because it's the same model, just bigger. So it's probably gonna be even more pronounced. Okay, so it's the next morning. This guy is probably, I don't know, 20-ish% complete, probably got another 3 days. And this guy is done. 300% scale version of the Air Jordan 1 in PLA, which is a hard plastic. It's gonna be hard to do with one hand. Oh, there we go, got it. It's still got a lot of support material on it, but it looks pretty good overall. I am a little concerned about the sizing of this shoe because it's the same exact model except scaled up even more. There's not really any room for the heel in here, which is gonna be interesting, and also getting my foot into this area, even with Ninja Flex or with the flex that we're using, is gonna be really tough. So I might actually have to get an X-Acto and cut the tongue to separate it a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this one looks. I think this model looks pretty good. It's probably my favorite out of all the models that we've done so far. Pretty happy with this, and it looks like there is an opening to get my foot in there. So hopefully we get a wearable pair before the end of the video. So we'll see. So after getting all the support material off, it looks pretty good. There were a couple small issues, especially around the Nike swoosh. And overall, I mean, it wasn't a short print. It took 9 hours and 48 minutes, but I'm happy to have it. I think it's kind of cool. I'll keep it on my desk or something. But yeah, here is the 300% Air Jordan 1. Now we've got the like 700% version still printing. So hopefully this one turns out good and we can wear it.
3 days later.
Okay, so according to the laptop, we are at 32%, which is less than I would like to be because it's been 3 days at this point. And unfortunately, it looks like we've got a lot of separation at the base of the print. It doesn't look like it's too screwed up, but that's definitely gonna cause some problems. And then the other thing that I'm realizing is that this model, the footbed area is tiny. Like there's no way I can fit my foot in that. So I'm debating whether I should let this finish because I mean, the main part of it's done. Like this is definitely the most amount of printing that has to be done. The rest of the upper of the shoe is not gonna be that crazy. Or if I cancel it, scale it up and try it again. Okay, so I've decided to take off the print. I just feel like this is just way too small for my feet. I've got the whole weekend coming up. If I reprint it larger, maybe it'll come out better and I can actually wear it. So I'm gonna cancel it, even though this sucks to do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And hopefully the new print looks and fits better. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, there was no way that my foot was gonna fit in here. New emoji apothecary socks, by the way, though. We made socks that look just like the emojis. So if you guys wanna rock socks that are, I mean, it's almost a metaverse. You're wearing emojis, it's crazy. All right, so we're trying this again. We're gonna scale it up a lot this time because obviously last time didn't really work. Let's try 350 millimeters. I know that's huge, but I feel like that's what needs to be done. So the print started peeling again, so I pulled it off in the same spot. So I'm gonna reposition the print, maybe put down some glue stick. I'm not 100% sure yet, but the size looks better. It's definitely giant for sure. Like this is much closer to my actual size, at least, I mean, overall. But like I said before, the space between the back of your heel and the actual back of the shoe is ridiculous. And so is the toe room and the width of the toe, or the width of the foot. So I definitely need to go bigger if I wanna actually wear it. But again, hey, it's probably gonna take a while to print, so I'm gonna get it all set up and try it again. Okay, so after a day and a half, we are 33% done. 2 inches of shoe. Now it is peeling up on this side of the shoe, which is unfortunate, but because I spun the shoe, that's not on the outside of the shoe, that's on the medial side. So I'm not as worried about that because I don't care if that side looks as good. I think the lateral side is by far the most important, which is over here. It seems like there's no print failures or any issues. The sizing looks decent. It still looks small in the, I guess in the width of the foot, but I mean, it's sort of the best we can do here. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it works out, but yeah, we'll find out in like 2 or 3 days. Okay, so I've run into a weird situation where I don't have enough filament to finish this print. We've still got 21 hours left, but we're so close to being done. The problem that I'm running into is that because I'm not running it off the SD card and instead running it off the USB, unfortunately it doesn't seem like there's any settings on the software to allow me to switch filament midway through like there is on the actual device itself, which won't let me do anything because it's running off the USB. So I'm just gonna try and pause it and try and manually just quickly swap it out and hope that it all works out. I think what I'm just gonna have to do is try it, and then worst case scenario, I guess I can just print the top half of the shoe and then glue it on, which is just the worst case scenario, but we'll see what happens. Okay, that was incredibly stressful. I think I got it figured out. I think it's working fine now, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on it, and hopefully it all comes together. I had to do a little bit of plastic surgery because there was like a bulb of filament that had just kind of run out, and I had to cut that off with an X-Acto, but it looks like we're all good now. I think the filament's getting pulled, which is good, so hopefully it all works out. Getting close. We are very, very close. I think like maybe 30 minutes left, which is crazy because this has been going for 5 days. And it looks like we're finally at the end. I'm so excited. Hopefully it all works out. Okay, so after about 5.5 to 6 days, we are finally done with the Air Jordan 1. So I started printing this on Friday morning, or Friday, I guess mid-afternoon, and then this finished like very early this morning or Thursday morning. So it's been a long time, but it's done. It's finally here, and I cannot believe it. Now, it is much bigger than I expected. The good news is the ankle opening does look large enough to get a foot into it. I do think though that I'm gonna have to cut right up here. But I think first things first, we should pull this off the build plate and see how it looks. And I also kind of want to compare it to the size of a size 9 Air Jordan 1, my actual shoe size, and see what the difference is. That's ridiculous. Here, let's pull it off. That was much easier than I thought. The Air Jordan 1 3D print. So I think we can pull off this support material pretty easily. Maybe not super easily. I'll work on it behind the scenes. But there we go. That is the size comparison between these two shoes. I'm gonna get all the support material off this shoe, and then I'll tell you guys what I've got planned for this crazy looking 3D printed pair of shoes. I've been trying to get the support material out of the shoe for days, like literally 2.5 days, and I still can't get it. I've got a screwdriver, I'm like digging at it, it just won't, it won't come out. It's crazy, and I literally just can't get my foot in there because there's just so much support material from like here all the way down to here. I just don't know what to do. I guess I'll keep trying. Maybe I need a smaller screwdriver because this one gets stuck like right about there. This is crazy. I've never had this much trouble getting support material out of a shoe before. I'm stuck.
Wait.
Okay, so I've been doing this for like 3 days, no joke, and finally, just while I'm watching TV, I got it out. I can't believe it. My hands are just completely destroyed, but it's out. This is great, the greatest day of my life. Look at this though, my hands are like completely destroyed from that. It's ridiculous. But now I can actually try it on, so let's do it. Okay, so we are outside and we've got the shoes. It is now time to try them on, which is something I've been looking forward to for days. This shoe took about 5 days to print, and it's been about a week and a half since I printed this shoe. I've just been traveling a lot and I haven't had a chance to actually try these on. And I did actually go ahead and cut with an X-Acto the edges of the tongue, so it should be like a regular pair of Jordan 1. So I've got my regular Jordan 1s right here to kind of compare. And as you can see, the size difference is a little ridiculous, but it needed to be this size because, as you guys saw earlier, there's this giant gap in the heel that if we didn't make this larger, because we can't edit this file, it wouldn't fit. Now, I've never tried these on. I don't know if this is gonna work, but hopefully it does. But the good news is we've got a nice fresh pair of apothecary socks to keep our feet from getting all scratched up from this kind of rough 3D printed interior. And if you guys want to check out these cool new wood grain socks, they drop officially this Friday. There are 4 colorways that are dropping. You've got the black and red, you've got green and white, you've got blue and white, and then we've also got a brown and white color. So if you guys want to grab any of these socks, make sure to check us out at apothecary.com. And if you grab a pair of socks, you're automatically entered to win a pair of off-white Nike Air Force, not Air Forces.
Dunks, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like you knew what they were.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw, oh you
yeah.
did, okay.
Shut up.
Sorry, that was...
I know what off-white dunks look like.
And every one of your purchases automatically enters you to win a brand new pair of off-white Nike Dunks. So if you guys want to grab one of those pairs of Dunks, you can follow us on Instagram, things like that, for a free entry, or grab one of these socks from our upcoming drop on Friday. But with all that being said, let's try on this stupidly large, crazy pair of 3D printed Air Jordan 1. So I guess without further ado, let's try it on. I think I might actually need to X-Acto it a little bit more around the tongue. That's not great. Now, I don't know exactly where to X-Acto. I guess I have to do the tongue a little bit more. I don't want to cut the laces either, because the laces are actually their own separate thing, which is really cool. I want to keep them as intact as possible, so I'm going to try not... I mean, it's kind of crazy because now it does actually look like a real Jordan 1 because it's got its own separate tongue, but let's try it again. I feel like I'm getting there. The problem is getting this off. I don't know how it's going to happen. Ah, we did it. We did it. We've done it. It's on. I can't believe it's finally on. Okay, now I'm gonna try and not put too much weight on this shoe because I don't want it to completely collapse underneath my feet. Just to show you guys how large I actually had to 3D print this shoe in order to fit. Obviously, if I designed this file myself, which would be pretty difficult, but I'd like to, you know, eventually one day try it, I would have made it so it actually is the same size as this, both on the exterior and on the interior, so that it actually fit. But unfortunately, as far as buying a pair of Jordan 1s online and trying to 3D print them, this is the best we got. And it obviously does not have a lot of support in the interior, and that's why it's kind of collapsing. Obviously, there's not a lot of infill in the midsole of the shoe, and the reason for that is because the print already took 5 days, and if we had put any more infill in the shoe, it would have taken significantly longer, because not only would there have been more infill in the midsole of the shoe, but there also would have been more infill in the upper of the shoe, so it would have been like a 10-day print versus a 5-day print. So this is the best you can get, realistically, in 5 days, at least with the printers that I have. So I guess it answers the question, yes, you can 3D print a pair of Air Jordan 1s, but should you? Probably not. Listen to that sound too.